Hello, it's Fran Davidson from psychicandenergywork.com.au, and this is part one of my monthly observations for July 2025. Part one always looks back at the month that just was, so June 2025. And on the website, on the observations page, you will be able to read a few comments that I put there about last month. You can also, of course, access what I wrote and recorded last month either on YouTube channel, Psychic and Energy Work, or again on the website in the archives area. What I want to touch upon in this video is the fact that, again, last month it had sixes, it had some nines, it had some fours, and within all of that, and in itself, numerology, like any other aspect of life, it is never the whole picture, it's never the whole explanation, even if it might be a substantial or a really beneficial part in the moment that you're using it. But also too, these dynamics can, when they all line up together, speak of the need to really let go. And I mean that as a releasing, as a healing, as a processing, and as a clearing strategy. So we can know these things. And I think I even touched upon this in last month's videos as well. But here we go from a different angle. Release work on one level, yes, all right, it's about letting go of things. It's about, shall we say, releasing dynamics that we've been in amongst or generating ourselves. But also too, implicit in that is that release work, processing on the energetic level, it's all about making room for the new, making room for the next second that wants to come in a way that allows it to come in the way that it actually wants to, it actually can, rather than just positioning in a way to receive new, but from where we're at. Now, on one level, where we're at, nothing wrong with it, that's where we're at. But if we're talking about energy and therefore energy work, if we're talking therefore about manifesting on a truly clear level, because at the end of the day, the world is energy, not because it's nothing else. The world is therefore, and therefore manifesting is therefore, a place that asks us, or quite possibly maybe the better word is dares us, to actually clear our space, not because we act in a rejecting way or a devaluing way for what we are in amongst or what we have gathered thus far. But if we're talking about manifesting, we are, of course, as many other people will say, we're talking about a place or a state that requires us to be fully present first. Part of that requires us to let go of everything energetically. Now, again, that can be interpreted as let go of everything in mind's eye. In other words, let go of everything you're aware of. Nothing wrong with that. That's a really helpful, useful place to start. But you see, the world being a world of energy, us being collective beings, reality being a place where everything is connected, even if we have no idea of that or understanding of it, that requires us to let go of all. And sometimes when we're entering into our release work and therefore preparing to welcome in or allow the next moment as it can be, that requires us to go to a level of subtlety, of nuance, that perhaps in that very moment we're yet even to be aware of. On one level, what is being described here could be seen as going to a level of detail that isn't necessary. Some days, absolutely right. But on other days, in other moments, especially when things are, should we say, louder than usual. And what I mean by that is challenges louder than usual, or stuckness, or unknown, mystery, riddle, things that are pulling our focus and perhaps seeing us end up in a place of pessimism or doubt, negativity of some sort, subtle or really, really loud. Those moments require us to really let go. Now, what do I mean by that? First of all, again, letting go isn't a place where we reject the value of anything. It's not a place where we release in a way that we are labeling things as only bad, only negative, or should we say, more negative than positive. Yeah? Nor, having just said that, is it a place of denial of what you're sensing is going on in that moment, i.e. it's not a place where we need or should call an apple an orange, unpleasant, delightful. Yeah? And yet everything happens in a way that it is part of flow. And therefore, everything happens, especially troughs or difficulties. They happen because they are a part of life's movement towards an upswing, towards a breakthrough, towards a plus in some way, always on a perceptual level, always on an energetic level, and ultimately always on a manifesting, physically lived level, if we know and if we allow that. So in part, therefore, some days ask us to release to the point where we actually sense there is nothing going on around us. Now, that again can happen on a very obvious level. All of a sudden it's gone quiet. There aren't any outside noises. All of a sudden I'm aware that what was really in my mind before, or what was really playing through my body before, is no longer loud, or even it's not there anymore. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we're fully cleared. The statement that I've just made isn't an invitation to overly fixate on releasing or healing. But you see, release work is a bit like working through the layers of an onion. Always, especially in challenging moments or full moments, they don't necessarily need to be challenging, do they? They can just be, you know what, I've had a really great week, I've had a really great day, but you know what, I'm busy, I'm buzzing. And so in a sense, release work asks us to let go of the buzz, be it on a smelt level, a tasted level, a felt level, an audio level, or a visual level. And all of those senses can play out in a very loud way. I'm seeing things, I'm seeing colours, or every time I close my eyes, I'm just getting a lot of visuals or pictures about what's been going on, or whatever, or what is going on around me. It could even be, you know what, my head won't turn off. I'm still talking. I can still hear my inner chatter. Quite possibly within that, I'm still, shall we say, aware of chatter that is not mine. And so in a sense, release work, if we're talking about full manifesting, not because we need to look down on any other form. Yeah, manifesting is manifesting. But release work requires us to let go of everything in a way that requires us to therefore let go of the need to know, let go of the comfort of what we know. Sometimes release work, it's a bit challenging to begin with, because even if I don't like the dynamic that I'm being made aware of, or I am aware of right now, sometimes we can want to release it and yet we still keep hold of it. So processing energetically, letting go energetically, so as to create the space for maximum shift, maximum goodness, maximum next positive to roll in, asks us to continue to let go in a way that we're using our senses. How do I feel right now? Is there still a tension on, around, or in my body? Tension, pain, discomfort, or even just, you know what, that part of my body is louder than the rest. Is it possible, again, that the voice, the mind voice, the silent voice, the chatter is going off still, yeah, about anything? Is it possible that the visuals are still replaying scenes, replaying moments, or even forecasting forward in a way that I'm not fully present in peace and quiet silence? How do we do these things? How do we move past these things? We let go of all. I let go of all ego. I let go of all mind. I let go of all busy. I let go of all negative. I let go of all chatter. I let go of all forecasting. I let go of all tension. I let go of all pain. Everything on one level is just energy. The more we know that, the less we get caught up in what we experience as we're seeking to release, as we're seeking to help life shift. And therefore, the more we allow the dynamics that are sort of keeping us stuck, hooked, limited, to shift in a way that all of a sudden the landscape blossoms, our awareness blooms, and that sense of overwhelming outer and inner peace really starts to come into existence as a very felt, lived, breathed, I am in it state. So in closing, use this month, July, because it too carries these dynamics. You could argue every month does, yes, but it too carries the dare to continue to let go of mind, not because it's devalued, not because it is dismissed as something that cannot add value for you, but as a driving mechanism, as a mechanism or a dynamic or a voice even, a visual or even a feeling that leads you. Any sense of being led, any sense of pushing or pulling, or noise or loudness, discomfort, pessimism, negative imbalance, that is already the universe saying, you know what, it's time to clear. So have a think about that, work with it however you need. If you want to learn about these things, get in contact. If you need a hand with them, get in contact. But most importantly, enjoy the month. It's here to teach us. Life flows. It's always flowing. The dare is, am I allowing it to flow with me, for me, through me, and around me, in spite of everything, right now, with breath. Travel well, take care, thanks for tuning in. Oh, and go through to part 2 of my video observations when you're ready.